Good morning to you all beautiful people out there. Happy Friday to you. What is going on? How goes it? What's cracking? I'm gonna take a minute, get some people on here. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. It's been a good week. Crazy week. Lots to discuss today. So tune in. Let me know where you're at in the old interwebs. Come on in and come say hello. How we all doing? Yeah, good morning. The people over there on the gram. Appreciate you. YouTube checking in this morning. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning. Ken, good morning to you, brother. How are you? Appreciate you jumping on. We are going to get started. It's been a great week. Just busy, stressful, but good. Kind of. But let's discuss the elephant in the room. My attire today. I pulled this out of a very dark place. It's a little short on me, and I don't need to stand up because you guys don't need to see what it really looks like on me. But I was about 100 pounds lighter when I first got this thing. It is Army Navy week. America's game is tomorrow. We're going to get into that here in a little bit. I'm super excited about Army Navy game tomorrow. I think it's the best rivalry game in all of sports, in any sports that's out there. I also think that it's better than any professional sporting event, in my personal opinion. I've done Super Bowl, I've done Final Four, championship games, and whatnot. Nothing beats the Army Navy game. The traditions and stuff like that, and we'll get into it. Instagram, appreciate you, thank you. Loving the jacket. Yeah, this is something else. Big kid, little coat. Yeah, it's I had to open up. So this had those of you that remember this jacket, it has the zip ups in the armpit, so it airs out. I had to unzip it just so I could fit in it. So so yeah, it's I had to bring this out because nothing else fit for for my military stuff, and I wanted to wear something for to recognize Army Navy game tomorrow. Be streaming live on CBS Sports tomorrow. The game is at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Myself and Rich LaMonica from Misfit Nation, we will be at the game or around the tailgates and then hopefully inside the stadium walking around. We won't be going live, but we will have some pictures and videos and stuff to share. So I'm super excited to be attending Army Navy this year. And if you really kind of want to gear up and listen to some of the players and stuff like that, go to heroesmediagroup.com. New website has launched. The new website is live right now. There's some tweaks that are being made, so not everything is quite working, but we're getting there. But new look, excited about it. But if you click on podcasts and go to Cadets on the Gridiron, you'll be able to listen to some of the Army West Point players that we've interviewed this season, and some great interviews there. You really get to know some of these young men and whatnot. So it was awesome, but you kind of get a feel for what this game means to them tomorrow as well, particularly the seniors. So go ahead and take a listen to that. All right, we're gonna talk more about Army Navy here in a little bit, but let's it's Christmas holiday, and usually this time of year I usually rock in the Christmas bow tie, but it being America's game, I had to put back on the American, go to good old red, white, and blue today for the Army game tomorrow. But Christmas time. Last week we talked. I brought up what was some of the best Christmas movies. And this is the time of year where everybody, the biggest question is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And we've had an abundance of responses say that it is. That it is. Rich was talking about your brother. We'll see you in the morning, man. Looking forward to it. So movies aside, this week let's talk about food. I'm a foodie. Everybody knows it. Those that have known me. Patty's on. I see Patty Catter. Like, I'm a huge foodie. What are some of your favorite Christmas dishes? And it could be snacks. Could be Christmas cookies. Could be, I remember my great grandmother. I had a great grandmother that used to make popcorn balls with like food coloring and stuff like that. They're different colors of food balls. Trying to think of like is there any specific meal that I necessarily like? No, because I just eat. You know what I mean? I like it. I had another grandmother that made these Christmas cookies were like it was like an inch thick of like frostings and stuff like that. Was amazing. Patty, Die Hard Christmas, yes. Christmas sushi. That's a first. We'll go with that. Chocolate fudge, that's a good one. G Campbell, good morning to you, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, it's a Christmas movie, just like Gremlins. I totally forgot about Gremlins. That's the first time I've heard that. That's great. Rich, Rendezvous with Destiny. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm loving it. So, what are some of your favorite Christmas dishes or snacks that you like? For me, I'm just coming out of hunting season, and you see those little Debbie Christmas trees. I'll eat a box of those, and I won't. Yeah, I said it. It's horrible. I know it does a horrible on my waistline, but that's my fix. I don't. Yeah. I like the sugary stuff, but I don't, because here's the thing. This is really the only time of year where I eat that kind of stuff, because I usually don't eat that stuff throughout the year. So Patty says it's just sushi. Put Christmas in front. So yeah, leave a comment below. Tell me what some of your favorite Christmas food is. Christmas ham. How many people do a Christmas goose? Does anybody do a Christmas goose? Be curious about that. I've never done a Christmas goose before. I'd like to try it. Might be interesting. I don't know. Although Patty's got talking about sushi, so I might have to go get that for lunch now, because that does sound good. So yeah, that's this week's. Let's talk about Christmas food. Leave a comment below. Let's get into some news headlines, and then into the really important stuff, the Army Navy. We're going to talk about some of their traditions, and then some events that will be coming up here soon in the next month. So let's get into some of these headlines. Patty, what do we got here? Vintage cartoons. Patty, I'm so glad you brought that up, because it was one thing that I did not mention last week. Is vintage cartoons. Rudolph, Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty. I mean, like the old school cartoons are Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown, like, just the nostalgia of that. Yeah. Okay, I got to get focused. Patty, you're throwing me off here. Although the UFO and drones, we're about to get into that here in just a minute. So stand by for that. First up, we got FBI Director Christopher Wray announces plan to resign. Shocking. He announced that he will resign from the agency in January after weeks of careful thought. And this is a quote from him, quote, after weeks of careful thought, I've decided the right thing for the Bureau is for me to serve until the end of the current administration in January and then step down. He said, this is what he told Fox News earlier this week. When you look at where the threats are headed, it's clear that the importance of our work, keeping America safe, upholding the Constitution, will not change. And what we absolutely cannot and must not change is our commitment to doing the right thing the right way every time. The FBI, the current FBI director, says we need to do the right thing the right way every time. Interesting. I'm wondering if he's decided. I don't know. There's a part of me thinks that there's a lot of this where he's resigning because he's afraid he might get fired. Just my 2 cents on that. I don't know. Yeah, Patty, we're gonna share that one there. Patty says after weeks of pressure, everyone telling him to resign or get canned. Yeah, I think that's basically what that one boils down to. Next one up. This one here. Oh, hold on. What do we got here? Yeah, Rich says, good point, Rich. He's resigning because he doesn't want to get fired. Well, that's true. I think that's exactly what it is. This next one I kind of threw in here just because I don't know, but Hawaii's most active volcano is showing signs of unrest and increasing earthquake. Seismic activity at the summit has risen from 10 to 20 earthquakes per day, according to the U.S. National, the USGS. The National Tsunami Warning Center issued a tsunami warning for areas stretching from Davenport, California, to Douglas County, Lane County, in Oregon. The warning, which affected an estimated 5.3 million California residents, including the entire San Francisco Bay Area. A message was sent out to residents' phones urging immediate action. Quote, a series of powerful waves and strong currents may impact coasts near you. You are in danger. Get away from the coastal waters. Move to high ground or inland now, end quote. Earlier this week, there was a big earthquake that was like 7 point something. I think it started off at like a 6.6, got upgraded to a 7.0 or 7.1 there in California. And a lot of this is coming from the stems of the earthquakes and this volcano out in Hawaii. I just thought that was something that we got to kind of keep an eye on. I think this is going to be interesting to see what happens with this volcano in Hawaii here the next couple of weeks. Here's a fun one. China using Cuban base for espionage against the U.S. Who would have thought that this could even be a thing? Hey, Rob, good morning to you. Appreciate you jumping on. A report by the Center of Strategic and International Studies reveals that China may be operating multiple espionage facilities in Cuba to spy on the United States. I, for one, am shocked. The report, based on satellite imagery and open source analysts, identifies 4 key locations. I'm not going to say which locations they are because I can't pronounce them. It's just whatever. There's 4 sites down there that are supporting China's signals intelligence efforts. The one base reportedly active for many years features underground facilities and various antennas capable of intercepting satellite communications and tracking U.S. rocket launches. These activities provide China with insights into the U.S. space program, including launches from Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral. The site's recent upgrades, despite Cuba's worsening economic crisis, signal its strategic importance. Very interesting. Something I think we need to keep an eye on down there. We've seen more and more activity down in Cuba recently, and I say this year we've seen Russian subs go down there. We've seen this is I think the second or third time we've seen China down in Cuba, and and here's the thing. I saw, I want to say it was like on the Sean Ryan show or something like that, but they were talking about nuclear subs and how you really, we've seen more and more, or spotted more and more nuclear subs from other countries off the East Coast and some off the West Coast of the United States. Should that be alarming, and what are we going to do to combat that? And I say combat very loosely. I mean, how are we going to fix that? I should say. So let's keep an eye on some of those things. But this is interesting. So I want to bring that up. Big article and news that happened earlier this week. Authorities identify United Healthcare CEO assassin as Luigi Managone. I think I said that right. And every time I see Luigi, I always think of like Mario and Luigi, and I want to do the voice. I'm not going to, but that's what I'm thinking. Law enforcement sources revealed Monday that the individual apprehended in the murder of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, is a 26-year-old Ivy League graduate with anti-capitalist leanings and known admiration for quotes by the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski. Luigi of Townsend, Maryland, reportedly harbored resentment towards the medical industry, which he blamed for the treatment of a sick relative. Here's the thing. I have seen so much stuff in social media, and this is where I really think that mainstream media and social media can be very toxic, but you've seen a lot of people praising this guy. And at the same time, you've seen a lot of people saying this isn't the guy, they got the wrong guy. Nobody really knows. I think, and I have not seen this yet. This may have come out the last 2 days, but I knew they found a backpack and they were going to run fingerprints analysis on it to see what is what on it. So this is just interesting. What's going to happen here? What do we have here, Heather? Good morning to you. Patty, I'm going to get into the drones. It's actually one of the next things. That's actually the next one. Let's talk about it right now. What do we know about the mysterious drones reported flying over New Jersey? There's been a large number of mysterious drones that have been reported flying over parts of New Jersey in recent weeks, sparking speculation and concern over who sent them and why. New Jersey Governor Phil Murray and law enforcement officials have stressed that the drones don't appear to be a threat to public safety. However, many state and municipal lawmakers have nonetheless called for stricter rules about who can fly the unmanned aircrafts. What does this mean? What does this mean? Because there's an arsenal near where these drones have been sighted, where the Army has an arsenal for weapons and stuff like that. And earlier this year, this isn't the first time we've seen drones in this area. Up and down the East Coast, we've seen more and more drone sightings and multiple sightings around U.S. bases and whatnot. So, without getting too conspiracy theorist, what does this mean? Oh, well, the government's doing X, Y, and Z, and they're taking the drones and they're scanning this, that, and the other thing. Could be. It could just be, a bunch of college kids out doing some stupid stuff on a Friday night, as well. Do I think that's what it is? No, I don't. Not personally. Let me get caught up on some of these here. Some of these, Patty, drones, have the whole blimp thing. Yeah. Here, white lights, drones, not nation state of drones, and Ukraine. Yeah, it's interesting to see what's going to happen with this drone stuff. Drones are more and more. We're definitely going to see more. We've seen some. Patty brought up the Ukraine. We've seen drones used more in wartime situations and stuff like that. I certainly don't say that in a sense of that, like this is what's happening here in the U.S. that these drones are being used and see if they're going to be used against civilians or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I live in a community where we have a gentleman that flies his drone and he flies it over the houses and stuff. It bugs the snot out of me, quite frankly. I think you got to be respectful when you're flying these drones and whatnot, but at the same time, it's like when it did there is a red flag when you see a bunch of drones and they're flying around military installations or they're flying in areas that maybe they shouldn't be flying. I know that there's different styles of drones. Rich says in Ukraine, true. Um, Patty says drones are just delivering pizza to the FBI. Could be. Ryan Hunt, good morning to you. I think these drone sightings that we see, flag it. Don't look too much into it. We don't want to jump to conclusions, but at the same time, we definitely need to keep an eye on and report them. If you see them and you see a bunch of them just flying around, it's something that you need to. I think it's something we need to report. All right, let's go to the last one, and then let's get back into the fun stuff, talking about the Army Navy stuff. Last one. Liz Cheney responds to Trump floating jail time for the J6 committee members. This is all over the news in the last 48 hours. Former Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney, said President-elect Trump floating jail time for her and other members of the J6 committee is, quote, is a constant continuation of his assault on the rule of law, end quote. She also says, quote, here's the truth. Donald Trump attempted to overturn the 2020 presidential election and seize power. Cheney said in a response statement to Trump, which was provided to Fox Digital, quote, he mobilized an angry mob and sent them to the United States Capitol, where they attacked police officers, invaded the buildings, and then halted the official countings of electoral votes. Trump watched it on his television as police officers were brutally beaten and the Capitol was assaulted, refusing for hours to tell the mob to leave, end quote. There's enough video evidence out there on the internet that kind of contradict everything that she just said in this. Whether it's true or not, that's not for me to say. I've seen a lot of footage that contradict what she has said here. So I think she's worried about going to jail. There was another quote in there. I don't have it in here, but it was something along the lines of like she'll file a lawsuit if they try to come after her and the members of the J6 committee. I look at that committee as a simple waste of money for 18 months. We've wasted taxpayers' dollars where that stuff could have gone somewhere else and used better. Personal opinion. That's just me. What do we have here? Patriot Pride. Mark, Andrea, appreciate you guys. Thank you much. Go Army. Speaking of Go Army, let's go back to the fun stuff. Let's talk about Army, Black Knights, West Point football real quick. Excuse me. This year, the West Point football, the Black Knights had joined the American Athletic Conference. This was their first year in the American Athletic Conference, and they stole the conference. The Black Knights just put a beating on everybody in the conference, and they hosted last week. They hosted the American Athletic Conference championship game up there in West Point and beat Tulane, just destroyed Tulane. It was a great game. And their first year in the conference, Army becomes conference champions. This is their first conference championship. Outstanding. It was a great game. Army has had just a killer season this year. One loss to Notre Dame, a couple close ones, but their one loss came to Notre Dame, which was at the time. And Rich, if you're still on, what were they ranked at that time? I think Notre Dame was ranked number 8th or 9th in the country at the time. So Army has put on a phenomenal season. Their quarterback, Bryson Daly, in my opinion, and I think a lot of other people's opinions, he easily could have been the Heisman Trophy winner this year. Uh, and I would have loved to have seen that young man get the Heisman this year, but wasn't the case, and that's fine. Moving on, because this is the biggest their biggest game. You ask Army, what's the most important game of the year? It's Navy. And you ask Navy, and they'll tell you the same thing. It's Army. It's like it doesn't matter what happens the rest of the season. Doesn't happen. Doesn't matter what happens the rest of the season. You got to beat Army or Navy's. You got to beat Army. Navy's got to beat Army. Army's got to beat Navy. That's what they'll tell you. So this year, if you haven't seen them already, I'm not sure what rock you've been living under for the last week or so, but they've got the new uniforms out. Have you seen these? The uniforms are solid this year. So Army's sporting the 101st Airborne Division. So all you 101st Screaming Eagles out there, this one's for you. Loving the solid black with the cards on the helmet, and the history behind it. So Army's sporting the 101st Airborne Division, and then Navy is sporting the Jolly Roger this year, and that's their aviation folks, and it's just awesome. Absolutely am excited. I can't begin to tell you just how excited I am to be going tomorrow to Army Navy. It's been a long time coming. It's been 5 years. 2019 or 2018, 5-6 years since the last time I've been, and I'm super stoked to be getting HMG back into an Army Navy game. Rich LaMonica from Misfit Nation is going to be joining me tomorrow. We'll be walking around, hopefully hitting up some of the tailgates before some of the traditions and stuff start. We'll see. We quite honestly, I don't know what's going to happen yet. It's either way, we're going to have a good time. Whether it's outside the stadium, inside the stadium, down the street, whatever, we're going to have a good time. Here's the fun fact, history about Army Navy. The first game that they played was November 29th, 1890. And as of this year, Navy holds the lead, 62 wins to 55 losses, and there's been 7 ties in over the 120 plus years that this Army Navy game has played. One of the things that I absolutely love about this game are the traditions that happen pre-game, and a lot of the times you don't see all this stuff on TV. A lot of times, but what happens, I'll never forget one of the times. I think it was in Philadelphia. I was down on the field, and the bands start playing, and the midshipmen, they walk in by companies, and it was just awesome, just watching the midshipmen walk in, and then right afterwards, you have all the cadets, West Point cadets, and I mean, it's just thousands of them just walking in by companies and stuff, and it was the coolest thing to see, and then being there on the field when it happens. They also have some of the other traditions is that they will sing the alma maters, and it's always like sing second. That's the biggest thing, right? If you sing second, it means you won the game. So the teams will go over after the game and they'll sing their alma maters. The Commander-in-Chief's trophy is on the line tomorrow. Whoever wins tomorrow wins the Commander-in-Chief trophy for the year, and that's for all the academies. It's Air Force, Navy, and Army. They play for the Commanders-in-Chief trophy. It's a big deal. What are some of the others? They do the cadet exchange midfield too, right before the game. Usually, what happens is a midshipman will go to West Point for a semester. And then a cadet goes down to the Naval Academy for a semester, and they do this big exchange midfield and stuff like that. It's to say that it's awesome is such an understatement, but this is one of the things that I geek out about is this game. I didn't go to West Point myself, and I've got plenty of friends that have been in the Navy. I think this is just a big thing as a veteran itself. It's these young men that are on the field. Every single one of them is going into the service. They've raised their right hand, they've committed, and they are, these are our future leaders in our United States military. These are also two academies that don't use the transfer portal for college sports, college football. They don't get into the transfer portal, and they don't get a bunch of transfers in and out and stuff like that. So, and both of these programs have done a phenomenal job this year. So I'm just super excited about it. So stay tuned as we will be giving you some footage tomorrow, right before the Army Navy game, which is going to be in Landover, Maryland. This is my first time. It's at the Commanders Stadium. Is it Commanders? I think, yeah. Washington football team. Yeah. So, but it is it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing what these kids do. Gene, are these athletes eligible for NIL deals? I don't believe they are. I don't know. I don't know 100%. I don't know if anybody knows the answer to that, but I do know this: they don't do the transfer portal. You will not see them in the transfer portal. Let's see here. Yeah, Rich said Armed Forces Brewing Tailgate. Travis, yep, seen both of those. We'll probably hit those up before we go into tomorrow, depending on what time we get down there. And this is another one. Here's another. I like this comment right here from True Patriot Outfitters. Another reason why those games are better. I don't think you'll find. You see, like, take Army for an example. They have like a 150, 190 man roster on the Army football team, and what coach has done up there is absolutely amazing. I mean, you don't see there. I just read an article. There was some kid from like Boise State. He started off at USC, then went to Boise State this year, and then he's hitting the transfer portal right after this season or after the bowl game, and is going to transfer somewhere else next year. Like, these kids bounce around and whatnot, and you don't see that. And I think that's what makes these academies, aside from being in the military side of it, enjoying the military, put that aside. But these kids are staying with a program through and through. And I think that's what makes it really, really special. And I think, they call it America's game. The Army Navy game is America's game. And it's because every person that's on the field tomorrow it's the heroes, the future leaders of our military, like I said before. So it doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better than that. So anyway, that being said, new comedy series. I've talked about it. I'm going to bring it up again. Office Joe brings humor to veterans and civilian life and transition. You haven't checked this out, you guys are missing out, I'm telling you. And I'm looking forward to meeting some of these guys tomorrow. It's a new comedy series, premiered in November. It was just in time for Veterans Day. It's created by Nick Palmisano, who is a West Point grad, Army veteran, New York Times bestselling author, and an award-winning documentary filmmaker. Hopefully we'll get a chance to meet Nick tomorrow at Army Navy and some of the crew from Office Joe. But the series just isn't about laughs. It's about opening doors for veterans in entertainment, growing movement. There's been expanding opportunities for vets on film and sets and TV projects all over the past several years. Office Joe is available on multiple streaming platforms. Go check it out. You'll love it. Rich, yep, absolutely, 100% loyal. I love it. You just Army Navy. It's like, this is when they say it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's not just about Christmas. It's about the Army Navy game. Let's be honest. I love it so much that I dusted off this old thing, and I'm sweating profusely in it just because it's cutting into my armpits, even with the things open. Anyway, Christmas is right around the corner. I hope everybody, we'll be on next week, but we'll be live from Wisconsin, going back next week to see family just for a few days. Next month, however, Military Creator Con. If you are not signed up for Podfest and Military Creator Con, you're missing out. We still have a couple of tickets left. Let me go ahead and put the Eventbrite link on here. You guys got to come down. We got a great group of speakers lined up. My Uncle Rob says, go Navy. I won't hold that against him. Navy. Rob, I see you. I'm just kidding. I got to give him grief. Thursday, January 16th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Renaissance Orlando at SeaWorld is Military Creator Con. It's an event inside an event. So you have Podfest that's happening 16th through the 19th. But on the 16th, there's another event called Military Creator Con that's happening within Podfest, and we want to see you there. We got a great group of speakers. I may jump up on stage and say a few words. But come on down. And if you're going to be in Florida for Podfest, let me know. Hit me up. Drop me a DM. Shoot me an email, Adam at Heroes Media GRP. Let me know that you're going to be in Florida for Podfest. I'd love to link up with you guys. We got a new show coming to HMG next month. I believe the first show is going to launch sometime after between January 6th and January 10th. It's called The Underwater Advisor with Nick Epler, CFP. What's it about? Stay tuned. Find out. All right, let's get into some of the shows. And I had to do it. Of course you did. Let's get into some of the shows and what you missed on the podcast this week. Reminder, real quick, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you're just jumping on, our new website is live right now, heroesmediagroup.com. You'll get a feel for it, but there's some still things that we're working out today and over the next couple of days, but we wanted to launch it. Launched a little early, and I'm excited about it. So just bear with us as we're kind of working out some of the details, but you get it's definitely a new look. And then let me know what you think about it. Go to heroesmediagroup.com. You'll see right there the URL, which is not the URL. Now that I'm reading that, let me take that off. Wow. Heroesmediagroup.com. Check it out. I'm going to put this up for now. All right, let's get into the shows. Our friends over at True Patriot Outfitters, their podcast called Doc Talk podcast. This week, they were talking about fishing health tips when on the road and at home with First Sergeant Jake Schroeder of Jake's Lures. Here's the thing. This week was Doc Talk's first live on HMG. So they go live on Tuesday nights. They were Monday nights for the last 4 years. They've been on Monday nights, but they've switched the show to Tuesday nights, and you can find them live right here on HMG. We're excited. We love the show, and their next show is the Tuesday the 17th. So make sure you check that out, and you can follow them on social media at True Patriot Outfitters. Great stuff. I love it. Let me go back to the comments here. Patty, you'll see me there. See me where? You going to Army Navy tomorrow, Patty? Where are you going to be, Patty? True Patriot Outfitters big show coming up Tuesday. Love it. Love it. Looking forward to it. All right, let's get into next one. The strategic veteran. I'll get to the comments here afterward. Sorry, Patty. I knew that. So the strategic veteran, Tyler Schumacher, a retired Army combat engineer with over 20 years of service across active duty, National Guard, and Army Reserve, shares his remarkable journey from military service to corporate security leadership, from responding to Hurricane Katrina at the New Orleans Superdome to transforming security operations during civil unrest. Tyler's story demonstrates how military experience translates into civilian success. You can check it out, take a listen. It's called The Strategic Veteran. Next up, we got Homefront Sit Rep podcast this week, from Marine to CEO of Ula Cocktails with Trevor Spears. Ula Cocktails embodies Trevor's vision, offering a lineup of premium, lightly carbonated cocktails that taste like a vacation in a can. Each flavor, such as spicy margarita, Big O, Island Girl. No, it's Big O. The next one is Island Girl, not Big Old Island Girl. Sorry, I read that wrong. Big O, Island Girl, and Prickly Pear Margarita is crafted with precision using clean spirits and a blend of natural ingredients. Sounds pretty good. I'm looking forward to giving those a try and checking those out. It's called Homefront Sit Rep Podcast. They do a show on Sunday and Monday nights. You can check them out live here on HMG and on their social media platforms. Yeah, I said that wrong. Each flavor, there's 4 of them. Spicy margarita, comma, Big O, comma, Island Girl. I saw Big O Island Girl, and I just read that all in one, and that wasn't right, and I apologize for that. It was funny, but it was wrong. It happens, right? Can you imagine? Come here and try some of this Big Old Island Girl. Whew. Anyway, next up, the J Mac podcast. Josh sits down with inspiring TikTok Tammy to explore her journey of healing from traumatic past. They discuss coping mechanisms, the importance of community, and how to stay positive through life challenges. Tammy's story offers hope and encouragement for anyone navigating mental health and struggles. I know the comments are coming here. Here we go. All right. Next up, we got the Shay Sparks Show. What happens after you meet Jesus? I don't know. How do you meet Jesus in the first place? Well, in this episode, guest Aaron Janda shares his journey on what led him to take his mess and turn it into his message, and how it helps others do the same. Aaron is a 3-time Amazon best-selling author, publisher, speaker, and a serial entrepreneur. His most recent book, I Met Jesus, Now What?, is helping readers of all ages develop and grow in their relationship with God. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. This was a good episode. Shay Sparks Show. Check it out. You dead if you Patty, stop. Patriots Inside the Wire. 2 shows a week, Monday night, Wednesday nights, live Patriots Inside the Wire. Tracy Two Steps does a phenomenal job. She did a show Wednesday night, was live. Go check it out. Patriots Inside the Wire on her Facebook page. Next up, we got Bump in the Road. This week, Minding Your Mindset. Gina's story is one of childhood trauma, substance abuse, and transformation. It's also a story about how controlling your internal narrative. I love these episodes with host Pat Wessel. She does a great job on these. It's called Bump in the Road. Go check it out. Pat's an author and a speaker, and has done a fantastic job. She's got nearly 100,000 followers on all platforms. Go check it out. Bump in the Road. Cam, what do we got? Just yeah, Ken, that is hilarious. Next up, we got the Arms Room Show every Monday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's Arizona time. They put out a new show. This week, they're discussing the most common mistakes with optics installation and zeroing. Could have used this about 2 weeks ago. And I won't get into. I'm not going to elaborate on that. Hunting season was crazy this year, but the OG of HMG, the Arms Room Show. If you're having trouble with your optics, you better listen to this one. Check it out, Arms Room Show. Next up, Misfit Nation podcast with our man Rich. This week, he's speaking with Holly Porter, an inspiring wellness advocate who survived a harrowing 70-day battle with COVID-19. Jesus. Including multiple near-death experiences. Holly shares her miraculous story, the divine call she received during her coma to start the, quote, Adventure Bucket Wish Foundation, end quote. Adventure Bucket Wish Foundation. And her unwavering commitment to helping others face long COVID. Her journey is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit. I got to listen to part of this, and this is like, Jesus, eye-opening. Like 70-day battle with COVID. My God. Let's discuss free coffee. I'll get into that. Rich, that was a good episode. Crazy 70 days. Jesus. All right. Next up, what do we got? Well, only got a few more. Stay with me, guys, and then we'll go back into Ken wants to talk about free coffee. We'll have to figure out where that's coming from. I'm not sure. Label Free Podcast is up next. Renowned sportscaster Chris Myers, who has made a name for himself at Fox News and the Marquee Sports Network, with an impressive career that includes covering major sporting events such as the Super Bowl, World Series, NBA Finals, and the Olympics. Chris shares his journey from young sports enthusiast calling into radio shows to interviewing legends like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. He discusses the evolution of media, the impact of social media, and the rise of podcasting, emphasizing how these changes have shaped the sports industry. True on all counts, I say. True on all counts. Good episode, Label Free Podcast. Check it out. Tony Abrascato, I see you over there. How are you? Appreciate you. The sun is shining. I'm drinking whiskey. I like it. Next up, we got your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project. I just copy and pasted this email that I got from Andrea over there this morning. I absolutely love it. She's like, this week we got a great show, Adam. We got music this Sunday. They got music with Brian LaRose and a guest talk with Doug Moscato from of Fubar Studio. That's going to happen this Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. We got your 6 at 6. Now, they do a couple other shows during the week. People's Patriot Project. Love these guys. Check it out. Go to their Facebook page. Follow them. I will get to these comments in a second, guys. Oh, you got keep them coming. Keep them coming. I just saw Patty's Wreath Across America tomorrow. And I saw that earlier by the People's Patriot Project. They said Wreath Across America tomorrow as well. So that an Army-Navy game. Yeah, that's lots going on. All right, we got a couple more here. Stay with me. Other side of the firewall. In this episode, hosts discuss the initiative aimed to at providing cybersecurity volunteers to organizations in need. This is a big, big thing that's going on. Cybersecurity is happening. I bring this up. I won't mention the organization, but there was a breach at a hospital where people were filing false workman comps claims, and they're trying to track down where this is coming from. People are filing false claims on employees that were literally at working at the time. So it wasn't the people that doing it, but the cybersecurity. This is a big national security thing. This is something that we got to keep an eye on. Other side of the firewall, they do a show Monday through Fridays every single day, about 10 to 20 minutes long. Great, easy to consume, but you learn a lot from it. Other side of the firewall, check it out. Last not least for this week, Ryan DeMent from Chasing Happiness reflects on the power of gratitude, self-reflection, and balancing hustle with meaningful rest, especially during a hectic holiday season. I get it. I'm losing. You got a bald spot right there. It's crazy. Learn how to appreciate the small wins, recharge and focus on truly what matters, family, health, and purpose-driven life. I absolutely love this. Ryan hits it on the head right there. Chasing Happiness. Go check it out. We got a new sponsor. Shout out to FinTactical. FinTactical was working on our website. So shout out to them. The Freedom People. Thank you very much. Warriors on the Water LTD. Jim Nearing's Live Bait and Tackle. Always appreciate stuff. Forget Genetics. Veteran-owned business right there. Forget Genetics. Love it. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. And, of course, My Tax Fella. I love it. Thank you, Anthony, and the crew over there taking care of us. HMG Beverage, our sister company in the coffee, which apparently we're going to talk about here in a second, and JB Auto Clothiers, which absolutely another veteran-owned business, suiting up our nation's heroes. Small wins equal. David. Good morning to you. First off, appreciate you jumping on. Free coffee. What a wonderful subject. It is a wonderful subject. I spent a couple hours. I spent about 5 hours yesterday roasting coffee. We had orders go out. We had some special Christmas packages that went out to some clients and orders. So the house smells, and I mean, when I say smells, I mean it reeks of coffee, roasted coffee right now. And if you want some coffee, and you like some coffee, we're going to be roasting again. I'm not roasting anymore this week because I'm leaving this week, and I'll be back just before Christmas. So if you're interested in coffee, here's what you got to do. We'll do something. We'll do something for the holidays here. Here's what you got to do. Go check out hmgbeverage.com or go to hmgcoffee.com. That's first and foremost. Take a screenshot of it. Let me know that you actually went to the page. And then DM me. Leave a message. You can leave a message here. Go to, send a message to Heroes Media Group or send a message to, my personal Adam Bird, and just say, hey, I'd like to try the coffee. Would love the coffee. What do I got to do to get some coffee? WTF, Adam? What's going on? Where's the damn coffee? Well, right now, what we have in stock, we just ordered a bunch of coffee, and I got to go to the port over in Jersey to pick it up when I get back in January. Let me see here. What do we have? Right now we have the Brazilian Cerrado, which seems to be a very popular one. We have Mellow Bean, which is our decaf right now. Some people drink that. Yeah, that's true. And then a Kickstarter is another favorite. We have Patrol, which is a 2-bean coffee blend that I created. And then we have First Dew is the other one that we have right now. So we have a couple. We have a few. So tell me what you want, and as long as you're not in a hurry to get it, I can get it to you just after Christmas. But let me know. Now, that being said, we'll do a promo code on here too. If you type in HMG, you get 10% off. And then I think if you go crazy and you're a chronic coffee drinker, where I drink probably a pot or so a day, anything over $50, you get free shipping. So right now I can give you 10% off just because I'm not getting on the website to do a bunch of other stuff because we're leaving. And I'll probably, more than likely, rumor has it that there's going to be a big sale come on New Year's Day. There's going to be a 1-day sale on New Year's Day as well. But right now, if you type in promo code HMG, you'll get 10% off. And then, of course, anything over $50, free shipping anywhere in the country. So that being said, again, Army-Navy game tomorrow. Leave a comment below. Go Army or go Navy. Who do you got? Who's winning it this year? Remember, the Commander-in-Chief's trophy is on the line. And then, of course, bragging rights for the next year as well. Here's a fun fact, too. I think the combined Army-Navy records, I think it's 19-6, which is this is the best combined record going into an Army-Navy game ever. So, like I said, Army just killed it this year. Navy had a really good season this year as well. So it is just this is going to be a fun game to watch. There's a reason why they call it America's game. So that being said, this is long-winded. I got to get out of here. Believe it or not, I actually do have stuff to do. Appreciate you guys jumping on, leaving all the comments. Watch the game tomorrow. You can watch it live on CBS at 3 p.m. kickoff time. We will be down there doing some pictures and might do some videos pre-game, and then definitely some post-game stuff. And we'll probably hit up some of the post-game interviews and press conferences and stuff as well. And you'll find all that stuff right here on HMG. Don't forget to go check out our new website. Give us some feedback, but be gentle because we're still working on it. But we do have a new look and we got some new stuff coming out. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. That's it. Until next week. God bless you. God bless America. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.